Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is Rev Trev, and I'm so glad that you're here because today we're going to be talking about the very, very important conversation about Braeden Cootes. And there is so much to talk about with this young player. He's part of our rebuild. He's part of our plan going forward. And we're going to dive in to what you guys think and what I think is going to happen with Braeden. We're going to talk about all the paths that he can take, what would be the best route for his development. So I'm so glad you're here. We're going to dive into all of it because it is the hottest topic probably going into training camp and going to into the future of this season. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it and let's go. So the big question I want to ask you, and please post it in the comments later, whether you're watching this live, listening to the watching this later, or listening to it on the audio podcast with Apple or podcast or Spotify, please, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What's the best route for Coote? Well, it's Cootes, but I like it just rhymes. Root and Coote, it just rhymes. But what's the best route for Braeden Cootes' development? I think this is a very important thing because I think a lot of Canuck fans just say, hey, he's got to make the big club. He has to play. Now, I agree in the way for excitement level about this team that he needs to play. But in regards to him as a player and as developing, it might not be the best path that he has to make this team. Now, this is the problem with an NHL draft. It's an entry draft. They're really young. They're still growing, maturing. They're still getting experience, right? So if you think of it that way, it's one of those things where you want to see them. You want to see these players play when they get developed, but it takes 2 to 3 years for each one of these players to actually play NHL games. If you think about it, and I talk about this all the time, the Sedin twins took 3 years to get to the NHL. They developed for 3 years, and they were the second and third overall pick. Now, that was the best route for them because they were smaller. They needed still learn how to play against men. All that, even though they're playing in I believe the SHL, they were still at that stage where, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to handle this. And it took them some time to develop. But once they did, then we saw the Twins growing and growing year after year. So this is why this rebuild there's a good chance that it's going to be a 4 to 6 year process when it's all said and done. And that's why when you're sitting there watching this team, this Canucks team, well, what's the plan? The plan is the future. The plan is like, what's the plan about now? And I'm okay with a guy like Cootes getting opportunity to play. He played 3 NHL games last year as an 18-year-old, which is absolutely amazing. Like, think about the opportunity that Braeden Cootes had to play actual NHL games in his first season. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And so some people think that he's going to play 10 games. Some people think he's going to play 20. What do you think? How many games do you think Braeden Cootes is going to play for the big club? I think he'll play some games for the big club. Now, the question is, coming in a training camp, is he going to be ready to play on the big club? When you think about Caleb Malhotra and Novotny and Rogowski and Aram Olsen, these are guys we want to watch now. We want to watch now, and that's the problem with it being entry. It's going to take years for them to get to that stage. I'm personally excited about Novotny. I don't know what it is about him. He keeps reminding me of like Mo Gilney, and I know he's probably not Mo Gilney, but I'm just like, please turn into Mo Gilney. You know what I mean? Malhotra, I don't know what to expect. Like, for me, Malhotra, and I know we're going to be talking about Cootes in a second, but Malhotra seems to me more like Bo Horvat's got to be a ceiling, right? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll be way better than that. I hope he won't be way worse than that, but Bo Horvat is a pretty good player. But when it comes to Braeden Cootes, what are you expecting? Because I kind of am not sure what I'm expecting. Right now, Braeden Cootes is 19 years old. He's a right shot centerman. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds, and a lot of people talk about that. His size is probably I think Bedard's around that size. Let me just see. I'm going to just put in Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard and his, where does it say here? Of course, why in the world would it have it right in front of me when I need it? Where do I go here? NHL.com. Let's go to NHL.com. So he is 190 pounds. He's 5'10", 190. So you got Braeden, who's 5 pounds smaller, but a number of inches taller. Here's the other thing about Braeden Cootes, okay? He's captain material. He was a captain on his team. He was captain for Team Canada when he played for them. And I think this is going to be a great year. You're going to see Braeden Cootes most likely playing for Team Canada at the World Juniors, and I can't wait for that. So that's part of his development, right? The probably the best route for him to develop would be play a year in Abbotsford and then play in the big club periodically. That's probably the best way to develop this young man. But I know that we're impatient as fans. We want to see it right now. I want to see it right now. So is he going to be in the AHL with the Abbotsford Canucks, or is he going to play with the Vancouver Canucks? Could he make this roster now? Could he make this roster now? Now, here's the big questions when you ask it. Is that in the best development for him? But the good news is this, and you've heard this a couple times on my show, last few things, is that Coach Malhotra can connect with Gen Z players. He can develop. He gets to know his players and their lives, and he has an ability to allow players to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes and grow. And Cootes would be there in that category. Also, there's a couple other big questions. If Cootes makes the big club, what line does he play on and who gets scratched? So I want to bring up, for those that are watching online on video, I want to bring up, and hopefully this doesn't make it lag at all, but I want to bring up the roster here. And this is the problem. By the way, this has been a crazy August for me, and nothing's happening in Vancouver land. So it's super frustrating because there's so much, it's just not exciting. It's quite boring what's been happening, but that's what it happens in every August, right? And every single August. So this might be the updated one that I have here. Yes, I think it is. Let's use this one. So it doesn't matter what you have for top line or not. I usually have the bro line, but if you want Pettersson up there, you got Pettersson, who's the center, to DeBrusk, and I have Linus Karlsson on the right-hand side there. Then you have the bro line with Besser, Rossi, and Ogren. But then where does Cootes line up? And here's the monkey wrench in all of it, and this is the weirdest part, is Chytil is planning to play this year, and I'm nervous for him personally. I'm very concerned about his health, but it's his life. It's his life, right? This is probably his last crack at it. It's his last year's contract, but where does Cootes go in this lineup? Does he take Chytil out and then he plays on, Chytil plays on the left wing instead? Maybe Lekkerimäki doesn't make the lineup to start. He starts at Abbotsford. What about Cootes and Lekkerimäki both playing together in Abbotsford? Cotter is going to be playing on this team. I don't know what it's going to look like for him, but Ratu So Cotter, I believe, can play center and wing. Ratu has, in my opinion, grown leaps and bounds. And this is the crazy thing, absolutely crazy thing about Ratu. He's only 23 years old. He's 1 year older than Liam Olgren. Oh, Leckermackey's 22. Max Sasson, also another guy who could be taking some minutes at the center position, who played for us last year, making $1 million each season. He's 25. Linus Karlsson, 26. Cotter, 26. You know what I mean? Like Hedel, 26. Rossi, 24. Pettersson, 27. Who does he take out? And I'm not saying that Hedel or Ratu are the best options there, but I'm just telling you, like, if you're thinking of a third line center, Hedel is the guy. And if you're thinking of a fourth line center, Ratu is as a fourth line center on steroids, in my opinion. This guy is awesome. I mean, not on steroids, it's a joke. But think about this. Like, who does he replace? Who gets scratched? I think it's super interesting. But if you're thinking about, Cootes and making this team, somebody has to go. And that could happen. So I'm super interested to see what this team will look like. I'm super interested in see what training camp does. I think most Canuck fans, there's going to be such a buzz for Braeden Cootes, but maybe, just maybe, if we want to do this right, if we want to do this good for long term, it's Cootes in the AHL in Abbotsford, and then plays under 10 games in the NHL this year. Or maybe there's injuries, and maybe Cootes finds his way on this team, and you start getting him experience now, and maybe that's the best thing going forward. Because if you think about it, it's who is it that going to Boston University? Caleb Malhotra and it's the other winger. Oh, Aram Olsen are both going to Boston University next year. They're not coming to the rescue. There's no one coming to the rescue. And as you know, my Rev Trev prediction is our Canucks will end the season with only 29 wins and 8 overtime losses. I do not think this team's going to be good at, but they might be better than I think. Depends on the health of Demko. It depends on the health of other players on this team, key players. Speaking of which, guys, by the way, cool stat, not a cool idea. Just looking at the defenseman here, Booyam. I just bought his rookie card on eBay. It's getting shipped to my house. Can't wait to get it. I'm so pumped. Absolutely. I didn't know there was a rookie card that there's the Minnesota one is his hands down rookie card. There's also in this set, there's a second rookie card and it has him in a Vancouver Canucks uniform. It's pretty cool. So my goal is to get that one as well. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we don't want people like him getting injured. And so that's the interesting part. Tonight on YouTube, I keep forgetting. I want to give away some, or maybe next thing, I want to give away some free RevTrev memberships as well. Plus, I need to make a RevTrev membership, video just for members only members. Tomorrow, I want to make another video, and I want to compare our rebuild to the Calgary Flames rebuild. So that's going to happen at lunchtime tomorrow. I have Monday off. So that means unless my wife has something else planned, I'm planning on doing who's got the better rebuild, the Canucks or the Flames. So make sure you don't miss that. If you can't make it at lunchtime, that's fine. You can watch or listen to this later. Okay. You can watch or listen to this later. So we're going to be seeing what happens here. And I'm very interested in all of these rebuild conversations. And yeah, anyways, let's dive into your comments because you're here watching, or whether you're watching this later or on live. By the way, on Spotify, I just got a notification that said, congratulations, 500 plays and downloads. That, I mean, I that's something to celebrate, I guess, and I'm excited about that. So I don't think it's one episode that got me that. No, I'm not getting that many on Spotify at this stage. So if you have any friends that just want to listen to stuff on Spotify, I'm getting between 29 and 48 plays and downloads. So I'd love your support. This will be going up on the audio podcast as well. Okay, let's dive in. So Coach Rob's in the building, Burnsy's in the building, Murray Reed from New Zealand's in the building, and then Coach Rob Willie says 73 games for Cootes. He's got high hopes for Cootes, and that would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the wrong way to go, especially with Manny Malhotra as the coach. It would get the fan base pumped, but there'll be growing pains, right? Hybrid's in the building. He believes that the AHL is where he should definitely be going. The AHL. Calvin says, do we really need to see them? I'd let them cook somewhere else in the NHL or something, even with Manny as the coach. That's fine. You're welcome to believe that, Calvin. So Lucas Gates is in the building, the legend himself. Lucas says, hey, Trev, I'm so glad the NHL finally dropped the hometown remix news early this week. I can confirm I knew the project was real as far as back as the early part of 2026. Yeah, worst kept secret in hockey. Yeah, hometown remix. Hometown. What is NHL hometown? Is that the jersey? NHL hometown remix. Apparel. Yeah, so they're remixing. Oh, right, they're remixing. So special edition uniforms will uniquely, authentically celebrates fans, city, local culture of each team. So they all 32 NHL teams will feature a new look this season, special edition uniforms that uniquely and authentically celebrate the fans, the city, the local culture. Okay. Be interesting to see. So, and when is it going to be released? Does it say? Does it say? For more information on the Hometown Remix program, will follow shortly after the season begins. Why after the season begins? Seriously. Okay. I'm excited about that, Lucas. That's a hard thing to keep under wraps. Murray says, I think he'll be a third line center to start with ADC. With ADC. ADC. What is ADC? Oh, with I don't know who you're talking about there. Okay. Just trying to think of that out. Sorry for the pause, everyone. Start with, yeah, he'll be at center. He'll be at center, I think is what you're trying to say. Super Delicious Taco is in the building. Good guy. Why do you even have Jake DeBrusk in the lineup? Healthy scratch him. They want to trade him, so you don't want to be healthy scratching him. But I do agree, you need to trade the guy. I don't want to healthy scratch him, though. Super Delicious says, Cootes needs 1 year in the NHL and in the AHL in Abbotsford, minimum, no point rushing him. Let's get a taste of pro and see which situations he thrives in. Leckerbacky needs to be in the NHL next season. The AHL is beneath him now. Interesting. Calvin says, nah, lineup is like Foot Clan's lineups. You don't like this lineup I have here? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hedel needs to be on the wing. He'll be less exposed to the open ice hits. That's fair. Murray says, isn't Ratu a face-off king? Yeah, absolutely. He's awesome. He's awesome. Trade DeBrusk is the most obvious answer. Yep, it is. He also responded to Murray and said, Atu is like a top 10 all-time percentage in the NHL. He's nasty on the face-off dot. Sensei Dean's in the building. He says, really, there will be injuries, so breaking into this lineup will depend on sturdiness. Rotation of a few players will be okay. My opinion is a new coaching philosophy needs to be implemented. Well, it's going to be implemented whatever happens, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Calvin says, ask the question, did the NHL channel put out Vancouver Canucks goals yet? I don't know. You let me know if they did or not. Sensei Dean says, this philosophy that if you need a rest and your body needs a break before injury, you trade off. Yeah, I mean, the coaching strategy will change for sure, right? David Sanders is in the building. Says play Cootes over Sasson, or Assassin, as I like to call him, because that's actually his name. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Play Cootes over Sasson, but Sasson's not even on my list, man. He didn't even make my list. Sensei Dean says it will never happen, of course, but old thoughts of being an Iron Man. These are young players. Yeah, no, I agree. These are young players you don't want to wreck, but you also people are paying really good money to watch these games. So, but the fan base has to have the mentality that we want to win a cup, not just to put people in the seats. Because if you're winning cups, you're putting people in the seats. That's how you do it. Get fans excited. How's it going, Rev Trev? How was the lightning show last night? Was off the hook. Wow, what thunder and lightning. I can't remember the last time I saw one like that. Like here in British Columbia, you do not get those. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. I'm excited to see what happens with this team. I mean, with this, sorry. I'm so used to saying things. I was so excited to watch the lightning show because like in other provinces, you get this a lot. Alberta or Manitoba, Saskatchewan, those lightning shows were crazy. That was crazy. I'm also excited to watch this team because I'm interested to see what they do. But yeah, the lightning show was epic. My wife and I and my son went to watch the new Spider-Man last night. And I was so in. I thought the new Spider-Man was excellent. And I just find that people want to complain about everything and they nitpick about everything. I went to the movie. It fit all the classic Marvel things. It was entertaining. It was interesting. And it had my absolute favorite guy, the Hulk. And so that part was my favorite. Nobody's surprised about that. And then I just thought it was cool having Black Widow's sister from Thunderbolts was in it. You had a Scorpion in it. Who else was in that one? There was someone else that was in it, but it was an awesome show. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved every minute of it. I just thought it was great. I wouldn't say it's my top 5, but it was very good. And how they introduced the new character, and they're showing us that they're going towards the X-Men feel, that is going to be cool. I am perfectly okay with that. How do you guys feel about it? Did you guys go see that movie? Let me know. But the reason why I brought that up is because we were driving back from Spider-Man and we saw the lightning show, and it was on display most of the night. I know people couldn't sleep well. I slept like a baby, man. I heard it a couple times, but I'm like, I slept. But it wasn't in Nanaimo. It was more like Ladysmith area, maybe Chemainus. I was worried about some forest fires happening, but what a show last night. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Sensei Dean, the rain, however hard, was what we needed here in the Okanagan. Yeah, man, you needed that in the Okanagan for sure. Lucas Gates says, I have no intel on what our jersey will be. However, I knew the program was real. That's cool. Roy's here. And he says, I vote that Coote starts off in Abbotsford. That's fair. Like Lucas says, my money, if I had based on history, early November for the hometown remix jerseys. That's just a hunch based on when the reverse retro 2.0 was dropped. Okay, that's good. Jason, is it Jason? See how he does in the AHL. If he looks good, too good for the AHL, send him up. I mean, he's going to be good in the AHL. Calvin says if Coots wants to play, he can take Jake DeBrusk spot. Yes, you mentioned that. He can healthy scratch him until he's traded. You don't do that. That's not how you get him traded, man. You got to play Jake DeBrusk. No playing to get his value up. We're done with this Kane. Nothing. You know what? Evander Kane, he still isn't re-signed anywhere anymore, guys. It's crazy. Patrick Laine, still not on a team. That's shocking to me. I mean, Evander Kane, not so much, but come on now. Calvin says, how is Jamie playing on the third line under Schenn? Oleksiak is playing on the second line. Schenn isn't the same guy, RevTrav. Hope he goes to the third line. No, we're talking about pairings here. Schenn is on the third. Yeah, I'm not sure. How is Jamie? So Big Rig on the third line under Schenn. He's not. I literally have him. Number 4 is Oleksiak. I'm looking forward to seeing him play, by the way. So Schenn's on the third pairing. Dave Sanders says, injuries are going to create spaces for kids for sure. Yep. Unplugs here. Good to see you, man. I think that was the best Spider-Man movie I've seen. Maybe second to No Way Home. I think Holland is an excellent Spider-Man. And I'm not even the biggest Spider-Man fan, but he does an excellent job. And his girlfriend on there, they have good chemistry. Well, they got married in real life, so that's pretty cool. And she's on so many movies, and he's on so many movies right now. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. But yeah, I think that was one of the best Spider-Mans for sure. There you go. Lucas says his power blipped twice last year. Oh, last night. Sorry. Okay, Sensei Dean says years back there was a lightning show where there was thunder lasting almost a full minute. Rained so hard, water went over the curb in town. Also, water gushed up onto the third floor of the parkade. That's crazy. That's intense. Roy says, by the way, I'm going to assume that the new defensive scheme will bring Canucks another 10 points. I mean, I know everything was bad, but Coach Foote and Coach Tocchet were kind of like supposed to be the defensive gurus, right? Didn't always work. Simon, good to see you, man. What do you think? Who do you think they'll pray for the baby Canucks? Oh, who will play for the baby Canucks in Abbotsford this coming season? Yeah, I think Cootes will be there. I think Lecker-Mackey will be up and down probably. Sasson will be down there. But that's the thing. You got Baines down, Baines down there. That's the thing, guys. There's a lot of options. They need to build up down below too. But Sasson, I mean, he's trying to make this team. And let's be honest, Coach Malhotra likes Sasson. So Lucas says that he heard that Evander Kane's going to the KHL. Wow, that's a big move. Simon says, what do you think about the rest of the NHL free agents out there? Where do you think they're going to end up on some PTO with the NHL teams? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Let's just see. A couple more questions here. Apex is in the building. Thanks, man. Appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate you. Remember One Hit Wonder, Alex Burmistrov? Yeah, I remember him, but he was real quick. Simon, I loved the new Spider-Man movie. I'm glad you thought it was awesome. You watched it. We watched it on the same day, man. I watched it yesterday as well. Remember? Yeah. Okay. So Lucas says Alex is back in North America on the ECHL's Cincinnati Cyclones. Wow. Well, good for him. I hope he makes it. Isn't Sasson have a different contract where he can't go down, or is it someone else I'm thinking of? I can tell you that right now. I think it's only a one-way deal. Let's see. It doesn't say. It's a cap hit of $1 million no matter what. Okay, it says Max Sasson is signed to a 2-year, $2 million contract with a cap hit of $1 million per season playing for the Vancouver Canucks. The contract expires at the end of 27-28 season, making Sasson an unrestricted free agent. Unrestricted free agent. It doesn't say about his contract. Can he go up and down? I am not. I don't think he can. I don't think he can because I think there is a thing where it says it's a two-way, right? Waiver exempt is Zeev Buyam. Let's see. Guys, the Canucks signed Adam Novotny. He could be playing in Abbotsford this year. It looks like he's going to be. If he can make that team, that would be cool. Might be someone else, man. Apex Sports Network says, hey, Rev Trev, just want to drop in and say massive thank you for all the energy and passion. You're welcome. Appreciate the love, man. Super Delicious Taco says, and an interesting thing to keep an eye on is Novotny. He's NHL eligible with his entry-level contract signed. Yes. They need to work on stick handling. Last year, passing was not quick enough for some players or very accurate. Yeah, you're right, Sensei Dean. Roy says much of the Canucks' focus these next few years should be figuring out how to bring in or develop players and ship them out for draft picks. Exactly. I think that's going to be part of their plan. NHL expansion draft. How does it go? I keep hearing that Texas is getting a second team. That's what I keep hearing. Speaking of, let's just talk about NHL expansion for a second. So Texas is going to get a second team. I mean, obviously Texas is massive. They love their hockey, all that kind of stuff. You know who also needs a second team? If you're going to go second teams, the greater Toronto area needs a team. They can support it. There's so many people that live there. You've already got Leaf Nation. Like you could literally have like Mississauga or someone like that and easily support a team. That's how many people live in the Toronto area. It's like having two teams in New York, two teams in LA, or like LA Anaheim, right? You've got the Islanders, you've got the Rangers, and really, if you think about it, you've got the New Jersey Devils all in that short little spot there. The Boston Bruins are right there. There's 4 major teams sitting right there. So that could happen. Of course, I would love it if like Saskatoon or Regina got one. Quebec, in my opinion, needs the Nordiques back for sure. I think that would be really cool. So Sensei Dean says energy went down was okay, but penalty kill was off and on. Yeah, they were terrible last year on multiple levels. Apex Network says you're one of the greatest people who makes everyone's lives so much better when they come onto your show. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Super Delicious Taco says another good trade piece for us is Linus Karlsson. I love the player, but he doesn't fit our window. If he starts hot, we can get a second and a third for him, I believe. I don't know. I think that's wishful thinking, man. Sensei Dean says baby steps. Lucas Gates says sounds like Houston is likely joining the NHL in 2029 and 2030. If you had to say out of your current If you had to say out of our current roster under contract, who would you protect in an expansion draft? You just got to protect all the young kids, guys. No, I wouldn't protect Pettersson. Someone wants to take Pettersson for $11.6 million, go for it. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. You got to protect Pettersson. I don't know. I would protect Rossi, Bulliam, Hronek, Verlander, DPD. That's it. I mean, Ogren, I'd like to keep him as well. I don't know. It's interesting. How many can you keep anyways? Simon says, what do you think? What is your favorite college team? I don't have a favorite hockey college team. Like, if you're going to, like, gun to my head, got to decide, I'd say Michigan Wolverines. But I don't have a favorite college team. My favorite CHL team is the Kamloops Blazers. Seen them live, saw them. I mean, they won the Memorial Cup many times. Love those guys. But I don't have a favorite college team. Now, if you're talking about football, it's definitely Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But I like lots of college football teams. If you're talking about basketball, which would be the one that I would follow the most when it comes to college sports, I would be North Carolina, Gonzaga, Kentucky, and then I love a ton of different teams on that as well, just for fun. So, and what is my favorite KHL team? Do not have one. Do not have one. Do you have one? That's impressive. You do. Puckpedia has Cootes in the lineup over Ratu. Poor guy, can't catch a break. Yeah, that's frustrating. Sensei Dean says, were Douglas and Vilmar traded? No, they were just not. They weren't re-signed. Vilmar, let me just see. So, isn't it Vilmar Eriksson? No, Vilmar is still on Abbotsford. But so he's still there. 21-year-old left wing center. He's the big boy, right? So he's 6'6", 234. Apparently, he was playing pretty good in Abbotsford before he got injured. So he's still there. Douglas he just didn't re-sign with Vancouver. He didn't get a contract extension. Super Delicious Talk says, I don't think Novotny can go to AHL. Maybe I'm wrong. No, he's literally, if you look at Puckpedia, he's literally down in Abbotsford right now on the roster. So maybe I'm wrong, but he's still too young. He's definitely not too young. I don't think so. Yeah, Curtis wasn't re-signed, unfortunately. So who goes and who stays? We're going to find out. Simon says, what do you think about Boston versus Edmonton next year in Germany, in your opinion? I mean, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like that they're going there. Germany, because it's Draisaitl getting to go to his hometown. Lucas is not happy with my idea that Toronto gets a second team. I think they can support it. They totally could. But I get that you don't like that, or that it's not a realistic possibility in the way of that's what they're talking about. But he didn't stand up for our big guys on for big hits on our guys. Yeah, you know what? I felt like Douglas. I could have seen more, but I think he was so nervous to play. Lucas Gates says Toronto getting a second team is dead in the water. Unplugged says the Houston area plus second Greater Toronto area team will most likely be the next for expansion. That's what the most money will be. Yeah. So Coach Rob Willie wants us to put a team in Duncan. They wouldn't put one in Duncan, my friend. They would put one in Victoria. That's where they would do it. But they'd have to build a new stadium. And because the stadium there, even though it's beautiful, it's not big enough. But they could do it in Duncan. Could you imagine if they put it in Duncan? They're not going to. It would be smarter to put it in Nanaimo, because people from Victoria would drive up. Totally would drive up. Duncan Duncan would be a bad spot. It would be great because they could have a location, but it's not big enough to support it. Nanaimo, there's no place in BC that would get an NHL team other than Vancouver. So, Unplug says greed is the motivation for the NHL. Lucas says it'd be Houston and either Atlanta or Arizona for expansion next. I'd say Quebec with the runner-up between Arizona and Atlanta. Listen, Lucas, I think you're right. Okay, so I want to just premise this with this. Houston, I think, is the surefire they're going to be in. Okay, but why are we going back to Arizona? NHL Bettman, why are we going back to Arizona? This makes no sense at all. No sense at all. We should not be going back to Arizona. But they couldn't have a team before. Why are they all of a sudden magically going to be able to support one now? Arizona, it makes sense because all the Canadians go down there and they want to go to a game. You got to have your own fan base. And Atlanta, how many chances are you going to get to go to Atlanta? That's my rant. I'm not mad at you, Lucas, just saying. Apex Sports Network, the Vancouver Canucks will lose 60 to 70 games next season, but they will be the butt of all jokes. Yeah, I mean, they probably will, yeah. Calvin says, what if the new additions are to get more picks in the future? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's how more younger players can play during the deadline. We can trade them. Yeah, man, we're trying to get out there. Super Delicious Talk says, personally, a Kelowna Rockets fan, that black jersey with the blue gremlin face is top 3 jersey all time. Yeah, that's a real nice one. That is a real nice one. The Rockets are good. Or by judging how they operate before, Calvin says, they're going to do trades before the deadline. That's fair. Sensei Dean says, if you could protect only one, Lekermacki, Verlander, or Ogren, who do you pick? It's Verlander. It's Verlander. It's Verlander. Right-handed shot defenseman. Yeah, they're talking about making 34 NHL teams. That's what the expansion will do. Give us 2 more teams. Calvin says, Rev Trev, imagine this in the draft. Both Toronto teams get 1 and 2 picks. Oh, dude, are you trying to get me depressed? Roy, Novotny is 18. I think he needs to be 19 to be in the AHL as an exception. Really? Interesting. Lucas says, realistically, Maple Leafs would shut it down without a doubt. MLS wields a lot of power. Yeah, that's fair. How about a team in Smithers? Super Delicious Taco. No. Come on, man. Smithers? Yes, Smithers, Coach Rob says. I know you're just trying to be funny and hilarious about that. We're going to lose so many games. Apex Sports Network, the Sharks fan, tried to add some comedy elements for the show. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lucas says, take it or leave it. Ladies and gentlemen, your Houston Arrows, not Astros, Arrows. They're going to be sponsored by the chocolate bar. I was trying to think, like, what Houston Hockey Heroes? Houston Heroes? No, I don't know. What would you call them? I agree. No Arizona. Saskatoon would have more fans than the paltry 5 to 7 fans. I know. It just got awkward there. They tried their best. Unplug. Rev, as a big Canucks jersey fan, what would you like to see for a remix jersey? Well, I am nervous. What we're going to see. And I forgot about the remix, so I'm probably not going to buy one. But I just bought 2 Packers jerseys today off of Lids. I had some gift cards, and they have a sale on Lids right now for football jerseys. You probably have, I don't know, is it still on? Let's just go look at it right now. Lids.ca. Oops. Lids.ca. I'm not here to promote Lids. I just had gift cards there. But, I mean, Lids, I've done oh, no, it's already over. They only have free shipping on orders over $80. So that's not impressive to me. That doesn't impress me much, as Shania Twain would say. Okay, what would I like to see for the remix? That was a tangent. What would I like to see? Well, it's going to represent local, right? So I'm not really sure. Like, obviously, I think our local, we have so much diversity in cultures that are they going to do like a Chinatown kind of feel of that one, or like a our East Indian population, the Punjabi Sikh population, love that too. You've got all of our wonderful indigenous people. You've got the Filipino community. Like, we have so many cool communities. How would you represent them all? Like, it has to be like a multinational one that would be there. That would be kind of cool. But in regards for like colors and stuff, like, what would we do? I mean, we're blue. We have blue, green, and white. You have black and yellow and red. Do you go with a totally different color scheme? Do you have a different shade of blue? I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm looking for. All I know is it better look awesome. So, Lucas says, league won't give up on Arizona. Phoenix is not a small market. I agree, but they're not interested in hockey. So, what do? Simon says, in your opinion, for BC, what area do you think they would put a team for the NHL could make sense? I mean, the lower mainland is another place that they could do that, but that would be the only one, or Victoria. I think those are the only two places. They're the two ones that are like big enough, right? Apex Sports Network says Canucks will get eliminated in the 2025-6 season. They will not make it to Stanley Cup Finals. Dude, everyone knows this. There's a hometown remix jersey coming out for every team. We talked about that earlier in the show. Houston Aeros is actually the old WHA team name. Well, that's cool. It'd be cool if they got sponsored by the Aero chocolate bar. Lucas said that comment. Super Delicious Taco says the team wasn't even in Phoenix. It was in Glendale, which is a pain to get to. Basically, like if the Canucks were in Squamish. 40-minute drive. Okay, yeah. Whistler? I mean, could Whistler hold one? No, I don't think they could. We need a Roxy jersey? No way, man. Okay, Simon says, in your opinion about the NHL, how do you like the jerseys around the league, in your opinion? And I hooked up about the Islanders, and it's a very interesting jersey. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I like this color scheme. I don't know if I like the logo, but it's fine. I've seen way worse jerseys, and I've seen way better jerseys. So it's not a retro jersey. We talked about it here, guys. We talked about it. So it is called the Hometown Remix. Okay, the Hometown Remix. And so they're going to do that. So anyways, it's been 48 minutes here. We're going to call it a night. Thank you, everyone, so much for showing up, being a part of this squad tonight. Appreciate each one of you. Hope you have a fantastic night. I just realized I'm not going to do the rebuild one tomorrow. I'm actually have a different one, and it's about a new hockey collection I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the rebuild one about Calgary, Vancouver soon. I'll do one this week. Probably Thursday night is when I'm going to do that one. I need to do more research. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks so much for being here, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic evening. Let's believe in blue. Let's be positive about this rebuild, because that's what we asked for. And, of course, always, let's cheer this team on, win or lose. Go Canucks, go.